Hey everyone, welcome back to my Logic Pro 11 MIDI Essentials course. As much as I prefer to play in most of my notes with my keyboard, just because that's what I'm used to and most comfortable with, I very often find myself entering in notes one by one or meticulously editing my existing MIDI recordings in the Piano Roll Editor. So the interesting thing about Logic's edit tools in the Piano Roll Editor is that the vast majority of these you never really have to use. My main workflow in the Piano Roll Editor is I use the pointer tool for my main tool, and then I use the pencil tool as my secondary tool, so I can hold Command to access that secondary tool. All of these other ones, eraser, finger, join, mute, quantize, velocity, and zoom tools, I almost never use these because there are a few important shortcuts I'll show you that allow you to get most of these tools' functions without even needing to select them. However, I do often find a use for the scissors tool and the brush tool, and the automation tools we're not even going to cover in this video. I'm going to save that for when we talk about writing in and editing CC automation. So let's start by creating a chord. I'm just going to start on A here. Let's lower the velocity. And one of the things you'll notice is that the note you create, both its length and its velocity, will be the same as the length and velocity of the last note you created or the last note you edited. So for example, if I select this and shorten it up, and then maybe I increase the velocity on it, now the next note I create is going to be that same length and velocity. If I make these a little longer and drop their velocity, now the next note I create is going to follow that velocity. However, you can sort of preemptively set your velocity before creating a note as well. Now, by default in Logic, your velocity is going to be displayed as both a color and you'll see this line in the middle of the note. So lower velocities are going to be more like a purple or blue color, and you'll see the line there is much shorter. And for higher velocities, this is more of a red color, and that line will be much longer. And by the way, when you select notes, if you don't want them to play back, you can turn off MIDI output up here. But there is a shortcut for this as well. It's Option O, so that'll toggle your MIDI output on and off. So I'm going to turn that off so I can drag over notes without hearing them. Now, when you create notes, the notes are going to snap to the grid based on your grid snap options here. I typically will work in division mode, and I will also set this to snap notes to absolute value. And so when I create a note with the pencil tool, I can click and hold and then drag left and right, and the back end of the note off, will snap to the grid. So I can, set this at a very specific length that I want. Let's maybe drop the velocity on that, and then let's add in our other three notes in this chord. Now, when you're trimming, this will also snap to your grid snap value. But if you want to bypass the grid snap, you can actually trim and then hold Control, and this will bypass that. So I can freely adjust the tail end of these notes or the note on message for these notes and make it a little more realistic. Because when you play in notes, you generally don't release all of the keys at exactly the same time. And likewise, I can also do this for the front end of notes. And I can also hold Control to bypass that. Although, let me zoom in a little bit here. When you hold Control to trim the front of a note, you'll actually see it does still snap to the grid. It just sort of gives you a more fine snap on the grid, right? So it increases the resolution of the grid. If you want to completely get rid of that and just have free control over the front end trim of each note, just hold Control and Shift. And that will allow you to set the front of that note wherever you want it to be. So for example, if I wanted to create like a roll, I could do something like this. So I can intentionally create like a roll like that. And let's make that even a little bit more obvious. Now, as you're moving notes around, especially when all of your notes are not right on a grid line, you may want to play around with absolute versus relative snap values. So let's say we're still snapping to a division, but I want to snap to absolute value. Watch what happens when I move this chord over. what happens is the note that's the most out in front is going to snap directly to the grid line. But that's not the way it was over here. It was actually ahead of that grid line. So if you want to get around that and you want to maintain the relative position of these notes around this grid line, what you can do is use relative snap. And when I move this, you'll see that the whole chord maintains its relative position around the grid. So maybe I wanted this to be over here at bar 3. I could move it there at bar 3. Some notes are a little behind and some notes are a little before, but none of the notes are really snapping directly to the grid line. I guess this one is because I didn't move it, but we can keep the relative position of all of these notes in place. And again, if I were to use absolute value, that's not going to happen. That bottom note, the one that's the most out in front, is going to snap to the grid. And the same thing goes when you trim the end of notes. Okay, really quickly, let me show you the alternate way to access all of these other tools with shortcuts. So Eraser Tool is pretty self-explanatory. It deletes notes. Obviously, you can just select any note with the pointer tool and hit the delete key to delete it. If you go to the finger tool, this allows you to trim notes, but it does not change their position. Obviously, you can just use the trim function with the pointer tool for that. The scissors tool allows you to cut notes. This one's actually fairly helpful when you need to split up notes. And there's also a function if you hold Option, you can cut up a note into a bunch of smaller notes. So that's really helpful. Now, if you don't want to switch over to the scissors tool to make splits like this, you can actually just set your playhead where you want the split to go, select one or more notes, and then press Command T, and that will split at the playhead. Now, the next tool is the Join tool, which does exactly what you think it does. It joins notes back together. This used to be called the Glue tool in older versions of Logic, but you don't really need the tool for this. You can actually just select the notes and hit Command J to join those notes back together. Then we have the Mute, Quantize, and Velocity tools. The Mute tool just mutes notes, but you can do the same thing by selecting a note and pressing Control M. Likewise, you can quantize notes just by selecting a value, selecting the notes, and then pressing the Q button on your keyboard. And then the Velocity tool can adjust the velocity of individual notes or a selection of notes. But again, most of the time, I'm just using the velocity slider over here anyway. However, this can be helpful if you're going in and just doing some velocity work on a note-by-note basis. And we also have the Zoom tool, completely unnecessary if you know your Zoom shortcuts. You can actually just hold Option and drag over something in the piano roll to zoom in on it, hold Option and click again to zoom back out, or you can hold Command and press left and right or up and down for your horizontal and vertical zoom shortcuts. Now, the brush tool is actually really cool because it allows you to create repeated notes, and it follows whatever your time quantize setting is. So if I set this to eighth notes and then click and drag with the brush tool, it's going to create all eighth notes. If I set this to a 16th note, it's going to do the same thing, but for 16th notes. And when you use the brush tool over an existing note, it actually turns into the eraser tool. So you can actually go in and erase those notes as well. And one other function with the brush tool is if you create your first note, then hold Shift, you can drag up or down to adjust the velocity of that note before moving on to the next note. So if you want to create a sequence where the velocity goes down and up, you can use this to alter the velocity while creating the notes. I typically don't use it for that, but that function is there if you need it. Okay, so that's how I use Logic's edit tools in the piano roll editor. In the next video, we will jump into some real MIDI recordings and do some fine tuning and realistic editing. And we'll also talk about some special velocity functions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. As always, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching.